All right, it looks like people are starting to stream in here, so we're going to get started in just a second. I'll give everyone just a minute here. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started here. Welcome, everyone, to the roadmap discussion for Send With Us for November 2015. So I'm going to start just by introducing everybody we've got on the line here. I'm Alex. I run marketing here at Send With Us. We've also got Marie on the line, who worked on the some of the things we're going to be talking about today. Marie, you want to go ahead and say hi?
Hello.
And we've also got Dylan, who a lot of you have probably talked to, at least on chat. He's going to be going through some of the things that we worked on as well, giving you a demo. Dylan, you want to say hi?
Hey, guys.
All right. So we've also got pretty much everybody else on the Send With Us team here standing by taking your questions. And on the other end, we've got you guys, the VIP customers, all of our favorites who are, we want to get feedback from you guys to see where we should take things in the future and let you know what we're working on right now. So the things we want to be talking about today, we made a couple of editor updates. You may have seen some of them. You may have used some of them. We just want to go over a little bit about how they work and some of the special things about them. And then some of you have even tried out this Litmus beta that we've been working on, which is really cool. And we want to go into a little bit of the specifics about how that works and what it's used for. Then we're going to get into a little bit about what we're doing next, where Send With Us is going, and we can do some Q&A for any of the questions that you might have. If you want to submit questions to the Q&A, you can email us right now at support@sendwithus.com, and we'll include those in the Q&A at the end. Or you can just log into the app and just go through chat. We've got most of the team standing by on chat to talk to you. So we'll start with a couple of editor updates. So the big idea here for the editor updates was we want to make it easier for you to see what your email is going to look like when it actually hits the inbox. So before, when you had variables in your template, to see that you had to basically send it to yourself to get some dummy data to see how it all shapes up and spaces out. So instead, we've introduced the sample data editor, which allows you to create sample data so that you can see it in the preview in the editor with data filled in. And to give you a demo of that, let's throw it over to Dylan here.
Hey, guys. So I'm just going to run through some of the new enhancements and features we've released for our template editor. Right off the bat, you'll notice that We've removed the sidebar, so you now have a full screen editing experience. We've also got rid of the fancy tab, and you'll find that under Classic in the editor mode in the top right corner. But what about the editor? We now have variables that get displayed rather than an empty space, so you can see where your variables are used. Note that if you click somewhere in the template, it'll show up in the left-hand side in your HTML. We also have a brand new feature called sample data. I think a lot of you have asked for this. You can now store some JSON on a template and have it displayed in the preview. JSON is what your developers use to display data in a template. So I'm just going to run through that real quick. See, we have the variable first name here. If we go into sample data, I can just type in first name, Dylan, and save that. This is saved on my template, so anyone else can go in and change this if they want to try it out. Go back to the preview, and Dylan appears. Also, variables can be used all throughout your template. So we have one here called company name, and that's used a couple of times throughout the template. So let's just add it here. Company name is Robo Inc. And we'll save that. Go to the preview and check it out. Robo Inc. appears here and here. So, I mean, you might be thinking that's great, but what about something a little more complicated like an if statement? I'll have a solution for that too. So we have this unhappy robot right here, and we want to make him happy. So in my template, I have this bit of code right here where it checks if the variable happy is true. And if it's true, display the happy robot. Otherwise, display the sad robot. So let's go back to the sample data. Set happy to true. And save. Go back to the preview. Great. Our robot's happy again. That's awesome. So if statements work, variable replacement works. We also have support for looping. So let's check out this more advanced example. First, I'm going to go over the data. Right now, we have a list of pictures, and each picture has a image source. So that's just an image that's going to get displayed, a link. If you click the image, you'll go to that link, an image alt tag. So this is the bit of text that displays if an image doesn't load, and the name of a cat. So I'll go to the preview here. So these images are shown by all the sample data. First, I'm going to go over the data that's displayed. Sorry, guys. OK, so back to the template. We have this row of images here, and then this row or this list of names right here. This is all generated from the data. So we can go back to this data, take out one image, save that. I can see how my template renders with only 3 images. That still looks great. Let's take out another one. Remove that. Oh, look, there's a problem with my JSON. I can tell because there's a little red X right here. If you hover over the warning, it'll actually tell you what the reason is. It looks like I have an extra comma, so let's just get rid of that. Save that. Awesome. My template still looks great. A couple of other things to note. Snippets are fully rendered in our preview now. Our subject line is now rendered. And you can also click send preview email. So now you don't have to add the JSON in a little window up here or add a variable up here. We include the sample data and send it to your inbox. And with that, I'll let Alex take over.
Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, and as you can see, that really helps in understanding without having to send over and over again to yourself what your email is going to look like eventually. And to that end, we've also added this new feature, which is a Litmus integration. So if you've never used Litmus, on its own, it's an app that you can give them a bunch of HTML, and they'll return what your email is going to look like in different browsers, on different devices, and in different clients. So we built an integration with them so that you can do all this from inside the editor. Some of you may actually be using this already, so we're just going to give you a quick overview if you're not, and talk about some of the interesting tidbits if you are already using it. I'm going to throw it back over to Dylan for that.
Thanks, Alex. So here I have my happy robot template again. And then I'm going to click Litmus Tests. This is where you go to set up a new test. So the first thing we want to do is select the devices we're going to use and send to Litmus. So as you can see on this screen, Litmus supports quite a few devices. If they ever add a new one, we automatically add it here. So you can select up to like 50 devices. We're hoping this really helps you in testing out your emails. Something important to note is that you can click the top of the column, and that will select all the devices for that client. So I'm just going to stick with the ones I already have selected. I should note that if you don't select any devices, we select the most common 12 for you. I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to start my test. So a test on average takes about 10 to 15 seconds to load. Let's go back to the preview here. So we should be sending all of our variable data. So we should see, hi, Dylan. We should see a happy robot in our results. As you can see, my test is done. Let's go back to the tests. So here is our overview screen. We show all the clients you've selected. So let's look at the Apple Mail 8 one. I can scroll down and see the whole template. As you can see, Apple Mail 8 is displayed at the top here. That looks pretty good. What about Outlook? Outlook is just terrible displaying emails. So let's see how this one turned out. That looks great. The button rendered and everything. What about Gmail for Android? Ooh. Okay, it looks like we have an issue there. I might not have known that if I was just testing on my iPhone. So it's great that I have that insight. So what about something more complicated? Well, I have this template here, and it has an HTML5 video background. If you've talked to me about videos and email, I've probably told you it's a terrible idea, because it is. It only works on a few devices. But if you know what you're doing, it's actually quite powerful. So I'm going to send this to Litmus. Again, click Litmus Tests, select my devices, and I'm going to hit save, and then start my test. So I've implemented a couple of fallbacks. So hopefully my Outlook clients and my Gmail client will actually just show an image rather than a video. So let's find out if that actually worked. Going a little slow. Betas. Okay, so Apple Mail. Great, video worked. That's exactly what I wanted. My text appeared in front of the video. Let's check out how this looks on an iPad. Great. My fallback worked. As you can see, I have a background image rather than a video. And Outlook. Well, Outlook still needs some more work. Yeah, so as you can see, Litmus is great for pointing out those sort of errors, and we hope it really helps you with testing your emails for all your customers. And with that, I will hand it back to Alex.
Thanks, Dylan. Yeah, we're really excited about the Litmus integration. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do with it already. And in the future, we're thinking about trying to use it for things like analytics and logs, so you can see what browsers people opened up your emails in and what it looked like when they opened it up in those different clients and browsers. So next, we've got the future of sendwithus. And right now, we're really focusing on, and what we want to bring to the table next is better environment management. And a lot of you have asked for this, and we're trying to figure out the best way to make it the most useful for everybody. And what it is essentially a way for one account to be involved in multiple projects. And so you don't have to have multiple accounts for, say, testing and production environments. And if you have multiple products that you send email for, you don't have to have different accounts for each person to work on each of those separately. And then that kind of expands into administration and different like asset management and stuff like that. And we're really going to be leaning on you all to give us advice on what you want out of that. So we're probably going to be having more of these types of events and just, asking what you like out of these things. And to that end, let's start a little bit of Q&A. So Mary, if you have any questions here lined up that anyone's asked so far, how about you go ahead and shoot?
Well, one other question I have is, can I use customer data in my sample data editor?
I'll take that one. There's no way to import it exactly yet. We're still working that out. But what you can do is go to your customer inbox and copy that data. There's a handy button for you, and paste it into the sample editor.
All right. Do you have any future improvement for the litmus feature?
Oh, yeah.
So
there was the idea of including it in logs and analytics. One of the really cool things that you can do with litmus itself is see how many people opened your emails on which browser, so you know which ones to optimize for, and say that if nobody opens any of your emails on Apple Mail, then you know it's probably not worth your time to try and figure out a really cool way to use HTML video in the background and stuff like that. And then we're also working on overall speed improvements, and they're adding devices all the time, stuff like that.
All right, next question. If I change my HTML template, is there any indication that my litmus tests are not valid anymore?
Yeah, so if you change your HTML and save it, we'll give you a warning screen saying you need to update the test to see the new version.
All right, good to know. I guess I would say another question would be, how do I know which variables are being used in my template?
Oh, good question. Alex, can you screen share me? Great. So in our actions menu, we have a button that says list variables. And this shows all the variables, conditionals, loops, and snippets used in your template. As you can see, company name and first name appear, as well as the if happy conditional. Did we have anything else?
I don't have any more questions. Oh, but let's see.
Remember, you can reach out on chat or via email at support@sendwithus.com and ask us a question.
So I don't have any more questions right now, but yes, if you have any, please reach out.
Yep, and that goes for pretty much any time of the day, or well, any time in the future. If you want to ask questions about this, we're still accepting and answering questions beyond the bounds of this live stream. But if there are no more questions live right now, I think we can probably wrap this up.
Actually, Alex, I have one more question.
Oh, in before the buzzer, what you got?
Okay. Any plan to change or improve the customer data interface?
Yes. So right now we just show a table, but we're hoping to improve that so you can edit it and do some more interesting operations on it.
Awesome. Yeah. And if you guys have suggestions for that, always feel free to throw them over to support or talk about it in chat with us.
I should also mention that if you don't have beta access to Litmus yet, please email beta@sendwithus.com.
Yep. And I think that about does it for us. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We got through everything pretty quickly. Let you get some of your day back. And have a good one, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.